Hello, guys. Hello. What was happening before? Can you hear or see me? If you can hear or see me, please say I can in the chat. Okay, thanks, Mr. Urban World. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Frank Live, Sonia. Hello, Sonia. Optic Racer, Kevin Hayden. Sothis, it disappeared. Oh no, that's horrible. So what's happening exactly? Hopefully I'm not gone, but can you see me or not? Okay, you see me, you hear me. All right, whatever. So, all right, guys. So for the people who can see or hear me, there's only a few of us in here right now. So let's get into it. Do you guys have any questions about the female mind? What are you struggling with? Have you been on any dates? Have those dates gone horribly or well? Don't understand about the female gaze. Is there something you yearn for? Is there something you dream about? Is there something you fantasize about? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Yeah, you guys got any questions? I will answer them. So, yeah. And how did you guys find my channel? I'm guessing like a YouTube recommendation. Let's see. Brands 1967 says, after a 9-year relationship, a 3-year relationship, staying single and gaming for 5 years, oh wow, and a notch count of about 150, 120 from picking up girls in bars, clubs, or anywhere really, and 30 from two. I don't see the second part yet. So Kevin Hayden says, dating at work, a little BDSM, asking for a friend. What do you mean by that, Kevin? Are you saying, is dating at work a little BDSM? Jerry says, yeah, YouTube snagged me, then saw you answer Q&A. Oh, very cool, Jerry. So you saw like one of my lives first? That's interesting. So Optiker says, how come you ended up with 2 boyfriends, Victoria? Live in 2. It might be too personal, so I understand, but still, I knew you have an open relationship. Okay, Optic Racer, I tricked you. I fooled you. I don't have 2 boyfriends. I just have 1. I just was kind of like saying that to be like provocative. I just thought it was kind of funny because like somebody asked me that before, and I said that, and like they actually believed me that I just like keep my boyfriends in like a cellar, and like one has to sleep in that bed, one has to sleep in that bed. It's just so ridiculous. So yeah, harmless joke, harmless joke. So and yeah. So this says, I was searching for female thoughts on submission and found your channel. Very interesting. That's wild. So Tubular Bill, why are women so obsessed with height? I actually answered this in my last Q&A, Tubular Bill, not like I would expect you to know that or watch it or anything like that. Hopefully I'm not repeating myself. However, okay. A chimpanzee like mating instinct. Like I was just watching this documentary on chimps on Netflix, like they just released it. I haven't really learned, but it's like we have like a mating instinct, right? And it's for a guy who is big and strong, okay, who can protect us, who can take care of us, who can defend against attackers, that kind of thing, all right? So height really triggers that in us. We're kind of like, well, he's not very good socially, and he's maybe not the best looking, but at least he has height, and at least he's kind of like big. So he's kind of got like that dominant status over a bunch of other guys just by the very fact that he's taller than a lot of other guys, okay? So it triggers something kind of like deep in us, right? But then another thing is which I said on other lives before. But women, they're supposed to be this ridiculous construct where we got to be dainty, we've got to be feminine, we've got to be small, we've got to be thin or, low body fat. Okay, so a tall guy can make a woman feel that. If the woman's like 200 pounds, okay, and she's with a guy who's tall, she's going to feel feminine compared to him. Now, let's say there's a woman who's 200 pounds and she's with a guy who's her height. She's going to feel like the man compared to him in that she can, like, take the guy. Like, she can fight the guy. Like, okay, it remains to be seen. Maybe the guy would win, sure. However, like, she's going to feel big. She's going to feel strong. She's going to feel dominant. So height can be a way for women to just get kind of like a instant packaged, ready-made feeling of being submissive. You guys can't hear what I'm saying? Can you guys hear? Somebody said, I can't hear a thing you're saying. So just type in yes in the chat if you can hear what I'm saying, because Tubular Bill said, I can't hear a thing you are saying. Okay, you guys can hear me? Very good. Sorry about that, Tubular Bill, because I believe that was your question. But anyway. So, hopefully you got that. But that is the main reason why women are so obsessed with height. Because you're kind of like, it's almost like a guarantee that your guy will be more alpha, even if he has nothing else than other guys, just because of the fact that, like, it's going to be kind of hard for like a small guy to take a tall guy, right? So that, and also the thing about making her feel small and her feel feminine, that can be really big for some girls because they don't necessarily know how to feel feminine on their own. They don't necessarily feel sexy and feminine. They need to almost like be made to feel that with like a very obvious signal. And that might sound like kind of harsh. Um but it's kind of true. Like, for example, well, there's a lot of examples, but I'll just move on. So let's see. What do you guys think of that? Does it hurt that women are into tall guys? And that's not to say a tall guy is always going to win out over a short guy in a girl's mind. However, it can be kind of like an unfair advantage if the guy's tall. It can be very kind of like tall privilege for sure. So then Kevin says, dating at work, what are your thoughts? That one I can't really answer, Kevin, but then I'll answer your next question. Separate question. BDSM, good. Good? Furry cuffs, breath play, what are your thoughts? Well, if the girl you're dating is also into BDSM and you guys have talked about it, then very, very good. Furry cuffs, breath play, whatever she's into, whatever you guys consensually discuss in a safe, pre-negotiated manner, I'm all for it. 100%, you have my blessing to be a kink positive, sex positive person and explore your fantasies and have very thrilling sex. So 100%, Kevin, I'm very pro BDSM. So let's see. I think I'm going to skip some people here. All right. So Adam says, question. If a guy only has looks and nothing else going for him, would women still want to date him? I will just say, Adam, that guy will for sure, have a much easier time dating and getting sex. It's not everything. Will it be easier? Will the beauty privilege help him? I think so. But yeah, and even if he has nothing else going for him, there's a lot of people going to be willing to overlook that. So yeah, I mean, same thing for women, am I right? So, all right, let's find the next question to answer. Um, all right. Adam Nelson, that's a very thoughtful, nice question. Thank you for asking that. He said, I remember during the last live stream, you stopped midway to have a talk with Beardo. I know it's personal, but is it all good now? It is, Adam. Thank you. We talked it out using my patented method, the 20-minute exercise, and also just some normal talking it out. But thank you for asking, Adam. So, Talal says, I have dated an escort before, but I was shamed for it. Many called me a beta cuck. I even fought two men this kind of insult. Well, that's just stupid as fuck. Like, do they even have, like, why? Like, you're dating like a sex goddess. You're dating like a sexually empowered woman. Not everybody lives their life in a sex negative, sexually insecure manner. So, ridiculous, Talal. You did nothing wrong. And, yeah. So, anyway, let's see. So Adam says, question, what do women think of submissive men in general? So Adam, I'll be very honest with you, okay? In my opinion, most women are not very cool with submissive men. Okay, of course there are some, but like female dominance, they're in extreme demand. Okay, everybody wants one and no one can get one. So it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be hard. Okay. Like, for example, me now, I completely respect submissive men. I actually think it's very cool. I actually relate a lot, and I think, like, it's very fun and great. I completely understand, like, the impulse completely. So I have complete respect for you. I'm just telling you, in dating, it's gonna be more difficult. There's gonna be a lot of competition, and people might perceive you as weak. They shouldn't, but they might, a lot of women, they're looking for, like, the strong alpha or whatever. So it could be hard, is all I'm saying, Adam. How has it been? How has it been for you? So, hello, EV. So Sam L. Williams says, what I was saying, Victoria, is that a common limiting belief I'm experiencing is that a girl will never keep the fact that she wants to have sex with me a secret from me within the time of me knowing her. Well, I don't know if you heard my answer on the last live, Sam, but like I said, basically, she might not know yet if she wants to have sex with you. She might have some minor attraction, some flirtation, some large attraction. No attraction. You really don't know. A lot of times women wait for chemistry to develop. They wait for the man to take the actions that would make them attracted. So it's not that she knows and she's keeping it a secret from you, is all I was saying in the last one. So I'm not sure how much to go into that because I went into it before in the last one, but what do you think, Sam? So then A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. The alphabet says, what are some effective strategies for managing stress and anxiety that are specifically tailored to the female mind? That's a wonderful question, A, B, C, D, E. So here's one that all women like. Okay, I'm not going to say all. That's crazy. I'm setting myself up for failure by saying all. However, let's just say it's common, quite common. Okay? It features prominently in romance novels as well. And that is you want to say, and this actually might be, I'm not saying every single woman is going to be into it. All right, disclaimers aside, you got to baby them, pick them up. If you can pick her up, put her on your lap, put your arms around her, and say, there, tell me everything that's on your heart. Get it all out. What's happening? Do you want to talk about it? Oh my God, so many women would melt at this. And instead of giving advice, and instead of saying, think positive, you just say, yeah, that's really hard. You're soothing. You just kind of baby her. Okay? You just kind of, uh-oh, like a like a little kid. You know how you kind of talk to them? That's what you want to do. That's a wonderful feeling. Just somebody there for you, unconditionally loving, letting you just feel your feelings. That is something specifically tailored, in my opinion, to the female mind. And if you've read the book Outlander, which probably you haven't, or seen the show Outlander, you will see that the first moment the heroine Claire connects with Jamie, the hero of the books, he does that to her because it's a female fantasy. So that is highly effective in a wonderful way. And my boyfriend, he didn't initially do this with me because he told me basically that he didn't think it would be like respectful to treat me that way, to treat me kind of like a child or like a baby. That would almost be demeaning because, like, if you did that to another guy, let's say, they'd be like, bro, like, what the fuck, or something. Who knows? I don't know. But they would just find out, like, you're talking down to them, you're patronizing them. You don't think they can handle it, like, probably something like that, right? But it's not rude, it's not offensive, it's not degrading to a girl. It just makes them feel this is like a safe, masculine, loving, supporting presence. So, what do you think of that? A, B, C, D, E. Would you do it? Um, yeah. I mean, another one is you can kind of like give her a foot massage or bring her kind of like some tea, do some like acts of service. You could be like, we're going on a special date, you and me. I want to make you feel better. I'm taking you out tonight. I mean, all those things are like crack to the female mind, I would say. So let me know your thoughts. ABCD. Mind Warlock says, thanks for the tip. It's the kind of thing that nobody teaches you. Really, Mind Warlock? What do you think of it? Like, would you have like never thought of it, and why not? Um, Shoulder B God says, anyone else like a baby bird, their significant other? Well, I'm not exactly sure what that means, baby bird, but it sounds good. It sounds like what I'm talking about should be God. So tell us what that is. Dog's Bone Prototype says, Victoria, has your boyfriend ever cried too in front of you? He's definitely cried in front of me. Unfortunately, I feel like he's never like cried to me. Like, I kind of wish he would, but he definitely has cried in front of me, and I like that. It's great. So, however, you don't want to overdo it necessarily to the point where she feels, oh God, I gotta hold this thing together. But yeah. Oh, should be God. It's when you chew your foods and she gets it out of your mouth. It's hot next level. Oh God, I've never even heard of that. Oh, that's wild, should be God. You taught me something new. Is that like a sexual thing? Like, do you do that during sex? Like, what the hell? Wow, that's interesting. Huh. Very interesting. So, all right. Alex, I need your help. All right, Allie, let me try to find yours. All right, let's read this. Been chilling at my family's beach house with a girl for 7 dates, but she's been through traumatic experiences from her exes and she's closed off. She does show signs of interest. Do I wait more to kiss? Oh no. 7 dates and there's been no kiss? Okay, then you say she's already backed off from a kiss, though. I was just very close, not meaning to kiss. Well, you've been on 7 dates and still no kiss. I think she's probably thinking, I mean, is a kiss really going to be that traumatic for her? I mean, did she have like a traumatic experience with just kissing? Could you ask to show respect? Like, can I kiss you? And that's kind of after you've like basically like almost gotten there. But I would be trying again unless she's explicitly told you, I have like an extreme fear of kissing. But I mean, 7 dates. She's comfortable with you. She shows signs of interest. And you didn't even try to kiss her. She just backed off. I mean, I would say something like, I really want to kiss you. And make it when it's already kind of romantic. You're already in this like moment. Because that gives her a little, you know, the 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 ability to express that she consents in this instance. But 7 dates, I would definitely try Ellie. But you know her better than me. You know the situation, so let me know more details. Like, did she literally tell you, I don't kiss guys or whatever? So style with attitude, men's style channel says true women just want to be listened to and vent. I mean, it's pretty much true. I mean, nobody likes cheerlead. Well, it seems like you guys kind of accept it from each other a lot, but cheerleading and advice giving when you're hurting can be incredibly annoying. Am I right? It's like you just don't understand. So, yeah. So, oh my gosh, JC says, I heard kissing came from baby birding in a non sexual way. E.g., in the Stone Age, people lost a lot of teeth, so someone would chew food for others, and kissing may have evolved from there. That's an amazing theory, DC. In this chimp documentary I was just watching, I noticed the chimps like kiss each other. Like the chimp was kissing the baby and stuff, like the mother in like a loving way. So I was thinking, wow, they kiss too. So, but that's a very interesting theory. So Rob Patty says, do girls sense that a boy has a porn addiction? Are they turned off by it? Several boys in my class are addicted to porn and they feel like it hinders their ability to talk to and attract women. So, no, I don't think girls sense that a boy has a porn addiction. However, are some girls turned off by it? Absolutely. Many women have like a massive problem with porn. Some don't, some do, but some are just like, that's a boundary for me. And they don't really understand like the full extent of men watching porn and stuff. Like they've got no fucking clue. So they're very, very hurt by it because they see it as, a man is getting turned on by another woman that's not me. And how can I possibly compare to her? Because she looks nothing like me. And it's just, they don't get it. Okay. So, yes. However, a lot of guys, it seems like they think that, they're going to do no fap and semen retention and not watch porn. And then it's going to exude some magical essence that women feel. I don't think so. Okay. But yeah, I mean, you guys can let me know, like, if it helps you talk to women and not feel social anxiety, like Style with Altitude is saying, then do it. But I don't think you should think that, oh, women are gonna feel this like magical vibe from you. I mean, maybe if it gives you less social anxiety and act more confident, then they could feel that. But I mean, I've dated guys who love porn or whatever, and it's not like I sensed that and I was turned off by it and I didn't feel or anything like that. Emma says, what do girls think about asexual guys? I feel really confused on how to bring it up. I'm happy to please my partner have sex, but don't experience sexual attraction. Well, I know a lot of girls are asexual too. So hopefully you will find somebody to match up with who is also asexual. I think it will really depend on whether, how much they experience sexual attraction. So, I mean, like, for example, me personally, I could never be with somebody who's asexual because I'm like hypersexual. So I think it's really going to depend on somebody who matches you in your sexual dr- drive or lack of. And yeah, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And trust me, there's a lot of girls who will be absolutely so happy to find a guy like you. Start with Altitude says, you're not a man. Yep. To know that it benefits men. You're not a man to know that it benefits men. It increases your vibration and sexual energy. Well, like I said, if it works for you, keep doing it. I'm just saying, I've never noticed that or experienced that. And also, I know somebody writing a book about it. Like, there's this sexual psychologist I follow on Instagram. He's actually writing a whole book about this idea that, like, semen retention and holding back your orgasms and no fap and all that and increases your vibration and sexual energy. And he believes that it's not true. However, I haven't read the book. I know I haven't experienced it, but keep doing it if it's working for you because I don't want to take away anything that is actually working for you. So experiment with it, try it, and do what works, of course. So, so Sam L. Williams says, the thought I'm experiencing is that a girl will always communicate to me if she wants to have sex with me within the time of me knowing her, and if she never tells me that it's probably a no. Well, I can tell you right there, Sam, there's so much wrong with all those thoughts. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it's not true. First of all, first thought, a girl will always communicate to me if she wants to have sex with me within the time of me knowing her. She won't. And another assumption is that she either 100% wants to have sex with you or 0% wants to have sex with you. Maybe she's, you know, 40% open to it or whatever. Like I tried to tell you before, it's not like an on-off switch. It's not like an either-or thing. It's like if Sam does something that attracts me, maybe then I will consider it. That's more the attitude of most girls. And then second, if she never tells me she wants to have sex with me, it's probably a no. Again, because if she did want to have sex with you, there is absolutely no guarantee that she would walk up to you and say, "Hello, Sam. I would like to have sex. Let me know if you would ever like to have sex." No. Most girls are not going to do that. Some might, but to assume it's crazy. Most girls will never do that because, first, it puts them in the dominant role. It takes away everything they want to feel from you, which that you're kind of like wildly attracted to them, seducing them, pursuing them, and wanting to have sex with them. It's also very like, let's just say neurodivergent, to just be so clear and direct, to just be like, "I would like to have sex. Would you like to have sex? Yes, I would. Thank you. Let us do it." No. It just takes all the romance, the mystery, the emotion out of it. It makes it not romantic. So she's not going to do that. I mean, it's possible if she was just wildly attracted to you and very horny, she might just be like flirting with you so heavily that it would be obvious and she would like all but say, "Come over to my place and let's have sex, okay?" But don't assume that should happen or nothing. So then you say, it feels kind of like a crippling, limiting belief for me because what if a girl I know is down to fuck with me and I haven't found out yet? Well, it is a crippling, limiting belief because it's completely false. And you're having this like fantasy that there's a girl who's down to fuck with you and she just hasn't told you yet. You're just hoping that there's a girl out there who's dying to have sex with you but hasn't told you yet. It just doesn't make sense. I'd give up the belief altogether. What do you think, Sam L. Williams? So Joseph Starr says, does a physique of the man matter for seducing a woman? Can a chubby man be seductive or no? Lol. Yes, a chubby man can be seductive, of course, like if he has very good game. However, might, unless he has like incredible game, might it be harder for him than a guy who just has like an amazing look as well? Probably. But let's say he just has like fantastic game, like he's basically a comedian, then he'll be doing just fine. But can a chubby man be seductive? Absolutely. That's not going to stop him from being able to attract women. However, might it hold him back from some women he would want to get with? Possibly, of course. But absolutely. Women can definitely be attracted to a chubby man. 100%. In fact, some women, that will be their type. Webb says, "You don't ask a fish how to catch a fish. You ask a fisherman how to catch a fish." Not you again, Webb. Oh my god, why are you fucking here? You have no idea how many times people have written me this on my channel. I'm like, stop watching then, go away. And also, I'm completely against fishing as a vegan. Oh, God. Philosophy Junkies. He says, the purpose of looks, maxing, is not to become a giga chad. It's to increase the receptivity towards your game and more tolerance of your mistakes. I love that. Very well put. Very well put. Very brilliantly put. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of like the halo effect. If you look good, people will kind of just let it go. They'll just smile and nod. It's like they can't help themselves, you know? Yeah. Very well said. So Sam L. Williams says, I get it. I just try to think more positive thoughts, like what if she's down to fuck instead of negative incel thoughts. Also, if a girl doesn't want to date, does that mean she's being celibate? Okay, so I get it that you're trying to come up with a more positive thought, but you shouldn't assume she's down to fuck. Or just think, I mean, what if she's down to fuck? That's fine. Because you're saying there's a possibility she's attracted to me. I mean, I would put it like that. Like there's a possibility she's open to me. Yeah, I agree. That is a better thought than, oh, she'd never want to sleep with me or whatever. But then your second part, also, if a girl doesn't want to date, does that mean she's being celibate? No, definitely not. She could just not be interested in dating you because you did something that turned her off or whatever, or there's something about you she's not into. But that doesn't mean that she is taking a vow of celibacy and she's swearing off sex completely. So I would not be thinking that, Sam Elliott. Rob Patty says, sorry, Victoria, please ignore the haters. We love hearing your opinions, so don't ever let them talk. Thank you so much, Rob, for the support. It's very nice. Dog's Bone Prototype says, the old fisherman chestnut. Indeed, like you have no fucking clue. No fucking clue. How many times people tell me that? Then Tyg Smith says, it's definitely better to ask a fisherman than a fish. Ah, why are you guys following me? Like, it's insulting. Okay? Well, there's no harm listening to her advice, okay? Keep that to yourself, Tyg, because, it can come off as insulting. Like, sometimes you guys say things, and I'm just like, good luck to you, because you're going to be insulting women left and right, but all right, I'll let it be. So, anyway. So ABCDEF says, how can we better understand and appreciate the rationality behind women's actions? Okay. Well, you can start by assuming that everything that women do, they do for a reason. That reason may not be one you agree with or one you understand, but there is a reason. So in that sense, it's completely logical why they would be acting that way from their perspective to achieve their aims. Okay. I have never heard one thing a woman does that seems illogical to me. Okay. I mean, sure, people might do things that like don't turn out the best, but to just assume, like, as most guys do, that women are just like emotional and they think with their emotions and they don't have logic and reason. First of all, another thing, it sounds so fucking obnoxious that anytime you actually let a woman know that's your true belief, I mean, they'll just resent you because it's so fucking absurd to them. Because literally almost everything a woman does is actually quite simple when it comes to dating. Because we have like this insane primal evolutionary drive that's telling us things that, perhaps you guys don't fully understand. So, it's just absurd when you guys talk about how irrational women are. I'm like, yeah, okay, what's the issue? And it's always just something like, I don't understand why a woman would give me her number and not want to have sex or whatever. Well, there's like so many explanations for that. And just because it doesn't make sense for a man to think that way with a man's goals in dating doesn't mean it doesn't make sense for a woman to think that way for her goals in dating. So please just get rid of this whole assumption that so many dating coaches tell you guys, which is just an easy cop out. Like I noticed in Corey Wayne's book, The 3% Man, that was his explanation for everything. It was just like, oh, I don't really understand why women act that. Oh, guys, the reason women act that way is because emotions. They're emotional. I'm like, the fuck? This guy has no clue why women act the way they do. So he's lying to you and telling you, oh, they have different brains and it's just all like emotional in there. So that's why. It's like the craziest circular argument ever. So just drop the whole thing where women are emotional and men are logical. It just makes you guys look dumb. It makes you guys look insecure. It really does. Because you think you guys are some like pinnacle of reason and rationality, like your ego is so swelled up. It just makes you look silly. And this is not against you, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because you have some wonderful questions, and I'm sure you're just trying to understand and you don't mean it like I'm ranting about, but I'm just telling you get rid of this belief and start trying to understand the things you don't understand about women. So, yeah. Okay, Webb says, can you at least explain how the fisherman chestnut is wrong? I definitely see value in hearing women's perspective, hence why I watch you. But on approaching women, the advice I got from men worked. Well, everything I've seen from men, with the exception of a few people, they don't understand the first thing about women, the simplest things that women like kind of know. Like, for example, okay, in Sterling Cooper's course on dominance, which I watched, teaching men how to be dominant in the bedroom, he talked about why women like dominance. Literally, I saw the video, it was very short, and in it, he was like, guys, I know it's very weird. I know we don't get it. For some bizarre reason, women are into like dominance, right? Makes no sense, guys. Am I right? But anyway, just do what I say. Don't think about it. Just follow these steps. And like, they're going to respond to it. You could tell he didn't have any understanding of why women liked it, right? Okay, so in that case, he's the, okay, like a woman could explain that. Okay, I'm not saying every woman does explain it, but a woman understands that instinctually, intuitively, because we actually have that drive. And we understand what's so hot about it. We understand why it's sexy. We understand why we like it. Okay, a guy is just like, what the fuck? I don't get it. Because if a guy was all dominant to me or whatever, I would be like, bro, like, what the fuck? You gay? Like, how dare you, whatever, get into a fight? Who knows, right? He doesn't understand at all. And there's so many things like that on these men's dating channel where they just give like bizarre advice that's so fucking out of touch. Okay? But that's not to say that men don't give some great advice. They do. And that's not to say women don't have some blind spots. They do. But to just say like only listen to men, okay, fine. How's that going? They're not going to explain anything on a deep level that you can understand. And it's like riddled with their resentment and hatred and like the worst possible interpretations of why women act the way they act because they don't know the real reason. So they just guess. And it's usually some like malicious intent and it's riddled with their fears and insecurities about women. So I'm saying take both people's perspective and try to sort it out. Okay? But to just discount women's perspective altogether is completely silly. That's like the blind teaching the blind how to date or whatever. So that's my take on it, Webb. You can look at male dating channels and you can look at female dating channels and then, make the calculations in your own mind. But stop harassing women saying, oh, don't teach the fish how to fish. The woman is just so fucking stupid. It's like, have an original thought. Please don't just parrot what your red pill like overlords tell you. So, yeah. So, Philosophy Junkie says, I agree that most men don't understand women, but it's totally understandable to me that they don't get it. There's no easy way to acquire that information or understanding. It's fair. It's fair. There's not a lot of good advice out there. Another thing, Evie, I'm pretty sure you're joking, but to like assume that, men don't have emotions, just GTFO, you know what I'm saying? It's, uh, I won't go into it, but I'm sure you're joking, Evie. So, Atif says, do girls like being bitten? So, in general, Atif, no. However, a girl might like that maybe sexually, but you guys are going to have to discuss this. She's going to have to tell you that before you just go ahead and bite her. Like, you're going to have to say, what are you into? What do you like sexually? You could tell her, I'm into biting. Are you? And she'd be like, no, fuck no. I hate being, no, don't bite me. Okay. Then you know, okay, she's not into it. But maybe she'll be like, damn, that's hot. Yeah, it's so sexy. Then you guys can talk about it. Like, do you want to try it? Do a light bite first to start off and then slowly ramp up when you know that it's not too hard. Basic, simple advice, right? But yeah, don't just go around biting people, please, Atif. So, thanks, Paul, for your comments. So Evie says, how do you keep being unpredictable and spontaneous in a long-term marriage so it doesn't get boring and the passion ensues? So, okay, well, Do you guys talk about sex, Evie? Do you talk about fantasies? Do you explore new fantasies? Do you kind of like branch out sexually? Because some people don't talk about this stuff. I mean, if you've like literally exhausted it all, perhaps it's time to think about open relationship. Really. Have you guys talked about it, EV? Because, you know, you don't have to limit yourself to one person if the other person agrees and you've literally exhausted every possible sexual fantasy and it's getting old and tiring. And I would again suggest hiring Kenya K. Stevens to coach you through that. Philosophy Junkie says the manosphere has accumulated a kind of practical procedural wisdom through trial and error. The what is it really like to be a woman experiential psychology questions remains unresolved. Absolutely. Absolutely. They've got, you know, like you said, the some practical procedural wisdom through trial and error. Do they understand the whys? Do they understand much more than that? I agree with you. They don't. They have no fucking conception of what it feels like to be a woman, and the reasons they assign for why their practical procedural wisdom works are often very wrong, in my opinion. But I agree. They do have some good stuff out there. Good for them. I encourage you guys all to look at that, learn from that. But just don't take it with a grain of salt. Paul says there's a core genetically engineered drive that actually ends up being the opposite of what we are mostly all raised to believe. The whole Dom sub reality is very difficult for most people to talk about. I kind of agree, Paul. I do, Joseph Starr. Just email me, mynonlife@gmail.com if you want one. So then, so Baruch says, is it fair to say that understanding the polarity, masculinity, and femininity is the main key to attraction in relationships? I feel like that's a reoccurring theme for a majority of your videos. Um, I don't. I mean, that's definitely a big theme, but like I usually talk about it more as like dominance and submission because like I find like a lot of the whole polarity and like masculinity and femininity stuff like quite annoying now. But yeah, I definitely try to tell you guys on my channel that it's quite important for a woman to see you as masculine enough, alpha enough for you to do dominant behaviors and dominant behaviors in the bedroom consensually, guys. Um, because that can a lot of guys are confused about that and they don't think it's important. So that is definitely one of the big themes. For sure. I was trying to explain that to you guys. Joseph, my email is just mynonleatherlife@gmail.com. So then Evie says, luckily, one of the two women I am with is kind of attracted to women as well. Maybe if I could get the other one interested, we could technically have an open relationship with each other. Maybe, Evie. Water guy says, what are your thoughts that any man can have any woman? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, because, like, yeah, I mean, let's say any man were to develop game that was, like, so incredibly powerful, could he make, like, any woman just wanna have sex with him? I mean, it's interesting to think about. I'm sure most women, you know, I mean, it's kind of like a crazy fantasy. In reality, women have, like, their own free will, basically. Like, they're gonna choose whether or not they wanna have sex with you. So is there some way to control and force every woman in the world to do your bidding? Like some mind control fantasy? I mean, wouldn't people love that if there were? But let's be real. Well, Evie, I'm gonna warn you, like, when you say you're so self-aware, Victoria, why aren't other girls like you? Here's a tip for you guys. One thing you never wanna do when complimenting a woman is to put down other girls at the same time. All girls know this. All girls look for this. No girl likes it. The "you're not like other girls" compliment, okay? They really hate on it in other channels, other Facebook groups, online, okay? You don't wanna put down women as a whole because it kind of hints of misogyny. Like, "Oh, other women suck. You're so different. That's why I like you." It can be insulting to women. You're insulting women as a whole. Okay, there's fucking millions of self-aware women. Billions, probably. Who knows? So, while I appreciate the compliment, just want to warn you about that. So, style with altitude, men's style channel. It's like, you guys, you go, you get so triggered. Okay, first of all, style with altitude, men's style channel. I am a feminist. I have said this from the beginning of my channel. So I don't want to insult you because you've been here for like a long time and you've asked some great questions. You know, no disrespect, but you've just been nonstop in the chat saying, "Don't ask the fish how to fish," and she seems like a feminist. I am a feminist. And why are you still here if you truly believe there's no point in asking a woman about dating? That's literally what we're doing here. So, who's illogical now? Style with attitude. That's a joke because you were also saying women are emotional and illogical and men are so reasonable. So, please, just be respectful, respect women, or you're totally free to go. No disrespect. Evie says, "I wasn't complimenting you, I was asking you why that was the case." Okay, well, you're insulting other women. So that, bro, she used the misogyny card. Bro, I used to watch her back then. Bro, do you just want me to block you and like save yourself from the misery? Just you're just like so triggered now, you can't like tear yourself away. I don't get it. Philosophy junkies. Men generally like the "you're not like other guys" line due to male competition. That's very interesting. That would make sense. That does make a lot of sense. You're a man among men. You're a mensch. You're an Ubermensch. Dickie Mo says, "Take the advice or leave it." Now that is solid, rational advice. Style with altitude. Seems like you're more triggered. Started watching at 500 subs. Exactly. That's what I thought. I've recognized your name and I didn't want to insult you or anything, but you're, in my opinion, being a bit rude. So, no disrespect, but just try to keep it respectful. So, anyway, guys. So, Paul says, on dating, it seems to me from a man's perspective, a woman's point of view is extremely important. I would think so. Good to have. Um, Sam Ellen says, did you see my last comment? I did not, Sam. Sorry about that. So then, Webb says, not a red pill lover or parrot. I honestly just believe the advice on approaching women I got from the men in my life was better than the generic things from women. Just be nice and polite. Well, I agree. Just be nice and polite is not helpful. So if you think that it was better, that's fair. However, don't ask the fish how to fish implies a lot more than that. So A says, I think in general it's just something women don't need to think deeply about. Women often give advice that implies a relationship will just happen because that's how it happens for them. I agree. I agree. One, they don't need to think too deeply about it. True. And two, that's something I've learned is that, see, they're coming from, here's the thing you guys don't know about women that I feel like causes a big blind spot when they give advice to men is that women ultimately want a relationship and they do not know that men really want casual sex. So when they're giving advice, it's ultimately about how to like be a candidate for a relationship. Really. And they don't understand that that's like an assumption. So just be polite and nice. They're assuming, well, a guy I'd be looking for a relationship, well, obviously he'd be like attractive and like dominant. Well, not dominant the way you guys think, but let's say alpha enough. And then on top of that, he'd be nice and polite. So it makes sense for them, right? But you guys are asking, how do I fuck a girl as quickly and easily as possible? Okay, you don't really ask them for that. And even if you did ask them for that, which many guys do ask me for that advice, I'm like, you know what? You're kind of grossing me out right now. Like, why would I tell you that? Because what is the woman getting out of that? I'm basically selling out women because if you just fuck them as quickly and easily as you possibly could, then they're not going to get anything they want because they're going to be hurt when you ditch them and they're not going to have the potential to form any kind of connection with you, which is what most of them only ultimately want, like at least a chance of that. So as you see, like there's a lot of hidden assumptions when asking for advice because you're assuming a lot of guys are assuming that women are like you and they're just looking to like casually fuck guys. So when you say, how do I get like a date? You're thinking, you're going to tell me how to fuck women, right? And the girls are like, no, we're not even like talking about sex right now. So do you get it? And also another thing you guys have to realize is that, you know, is your average woman off the street some sort of sexual psychologist, person who's worked with like thousands of men to help them achieve success in dating or evolutionary psychologist or anything like that? No, she's just like your random person who's probably interested in like marketing or whatever other interests or job she has. It's like you can't just expect a random person off the street to be some kind of like expert on kind of like the hidden mating instinct or whatever, and then like blame women as a whole. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Well, Thank you guys, because you got me all riled up and angry, and sometimes I really need that. Sometimes I really, just feel like it puts a lot of spice in my life. Oh, that's because women love emotions, right? And women are like so emotional and they crave being emotional. My face is melting off. Oh, dear Lord. Anyway, guys, thank you for your great questions. Style with altitude. Thanks for hanging in there with me. And, it's very difficult, I think, when somebody on social media like misjudges you and insults you. So, although I sometimes like to be, insulting for like entertainment effect or whatever, I just get a little loose or whatever. I know that it actually can be very hurtful because it's like you feel very misunderstood. That's happened to me before. I'm like, I really liked you and you didn't even understand what I'm saying. You're all rude to me for no reason. It hurts. So I try to keep that in mind and not be too rude to people and too judging them, but sometimes it's like good for entertainment. So anyway, guys, everybody, thank you so much. Have a great day. I hope you learned something about women today. Please come back, hang out, chill. Tell me your true thoughts. All right, bye, guys.